Yeah, shame on you guys and shame on me. We're now being recorded. What's that? It's the 11th. Yeah. So today is October the 11th, and our topic is financial predators. To give a short recap of what I said before I started the recording, I use a particularly provocative term because I want everyone to get in touch with their being victims, and they're feeling this lack of safety, lack of security. And we'll, of course, find that when we go to the heart, we are completely safe and secure. We are always fully empowered. And anything that shows up other than that is a wound in the heart. And we just want to heal that. On the national level, we have these same patterns. We want to be safe. And it leads our country into doing some absurd things. Pardon me, that's just my judgment. I realize I'm preaching here. But we are extraordinarily safe as a country from military attack, from a nation, certainly terrorist attacks. But we built up this huge military as if all these countries are going to come across the oceans and attack us. So, you can tell I'm biased here. And with that, let's go into our hearts. So let's sit up straight. And just notice how we're doing this morning. Every time we check in, we are loving ourselves. So just notice, how do we feel? What's our state? How are our senses interacting with the world? Bright and clear, dull, not wanting to interact, whatever it is. Just notice it. And let's say good morning to our hearts by putting both hands over our heart. And just sit in this posture for a minute or two. And just check for a moment now, with our attention on our hearts through our hands, on a very physical level. What do you notice has changed within you? And when you'd like, go ahead and put your hands down. If it's comfortable, I suggest you leave your palms facing up. You may notice a little bit more of an energetic experience this way. But either way. So as we begin our second step in terms of moving into our heart, this delightful practice of heart rhythm meditation, I always like to honor the Desert Fathers and Mothers for bringing this forth. These great God-realized beings of the 4th and 5th centuries. And give a nod to Peran and Susanna Baer for reviving it through their school called I Am Heart, their book called Living from the Heart. And we begin just by noticing our breathing. Helpful to sit up straight, as erect as you can. But just noticing the breath. Now that we spent some time with our breath, for some reason I'm just being more silent in this morning's meditation. I think you've heard by now pretty much what I say. So let's start going into our next shift in this process. The full exhale, the full inhale. Pulling our abdominal muscles all the way back towards our stomach for the exhale. And just for a minute or two, very full, slow abdominal breathing. Full inhale, full exhale. And again, check your experience as we infuse prana and life force into our body. through this deep, slow, full inhale, full exhale. What's your experience? And now, as we've moved deeper within ourselves, filled with energy, let's begin the process. Let's begin the process of connecting the rhythm of our heartbeat with the rhythm of our breathing. So we want to inhale. First, feel your heartbeat. If we have someone new on the phone, if you can't feel your heartbeat yet, don't worry, it'll come. You can always just feel your pulse. Or hold your breath 20 or 30 seconds and you'll start to feel your heartbeat. If none of that works, simply count along with your breath. And eventually it'll start to synchronize with your heartbeat. But what we want to do is we want to inhale to the count of 6 or 8 heartbeats. Exhale, 6 or 8 heartbeats, or 10 or 4. Inhale, 8 heartbeats. Full exhale, 8 heartbeats. And we'll just do that for a minute or two. And again, notice the effect of this. What happens when we connect these two basic rhythms? Do you go deeper? Could we set the intention to connect to the rhythm of the earth, to the rhythm of nature? As we connect these basic rhythms, Would it be okay with us if we begin to honor all the rhythms of our body, our sleep rhythms, digestive rhythms, breath, cerebral spinal fluid pumping rhythm? Would it be okay with us if we just lived in the basic rhythm of life? We call this alignment. Would it be okay with us if we were in alignment with the rhythm of the planets circling the sun? Could we just honor these planets and their rhythm? The moon and its rhythm. We know the moon impacts the tides, probably impacts the fluid within our own bodies, within our own cells, just as it impacts the fluid in the ocean. Is it okay with us to move into unity on the basis of alignment? That we become so attuned to all the rhythms of life that we become one with all of life. All these different avenues of moving towards unity. I think one day we'll have to welcome up our disbelief that it's possible for us to move into unity very quickly, very easily. Welcome up for the nation our disbelief of unity, our disbelief that spiritual progress is natural, normal, and effortless. That's another day, though. Right now, let's expand this practice of heart rhythm meditation into the elemental breathing patterns. We've started this week, and so far, earth, water, fire, and air. Today is a slightly less known element called ether, or space, or akasha. It holds the space for the other elements. So it has a slightly different quality to it. Before the recording started, I made the analogy of it's like the four fingers in the hand and the thumb. The thumb's just a little different. I started off the week by talking about this experience I had when I first started heart rhythm meditation, of seeing so clearly how the four chambers of the heart correlated to the four elements. And then I asked about the ether element and immediately saw the periocardial sac, sort of this womb that sort of surrounds the heart. So that's where it sits in our physiology. But I'll tell you another experience I had right after that. It was so interesting. They just kept coming. And that is, I had a crystal clear vision of the double helix, the DNA molecule, the very foundation of life, the blueprint of life. I could see it. It's interesting because the DNA marker has DNA has four markers. And I realized these four markers on the DNA are the four elements, and the actual double helical strand is the space that holds them all. So as we heal and experience and enliven these 5 elements, we are actually healing and enlivening our very DNA, restoring it, amplifying it. So the bath breathing pattern, each one of these elements has its own breathing pattern. The breathing pattern may surprise you, and it may take a little bit of practice to get it, but eventually it'll become very normal for you. The breathing pattern for the space element is we breathe in and out simultaneously through our open mouth and nostrils. I first discovered this when I was reading a poem by Rumi. I was just reading it, and suddenly I was so taken. I was barely breathing, but it was coming in both through my mouth and through my nose, and out the same way. So just play with this a moment. It's probably easier to focus on breathing through your lips slightly and watch that it comes in through your nose anyway. Full inhale, 8 heartbeats. Full exhale. And breathe the energy just directly into your heart. These 5 breathing patterns, by the way, please keep going, come from the Sufi tradition. Very heart-centered tradition. In this case, this is a teacher named Hazrat Inayat Khan, who was the first to bring Sufism to the West in the early 1900s. He is a musician, a very accomplished musician. Spoke a lot about rhythm. And one of his comments was that the essence of spirituality is to etherealize, to bring in the space element into every part of our being, our mind, our ego, our intellect, our heart, our body. And now let's begin this process of, as we inhale, we fill up our heart with the space element. As we exhale, we expand it out. Expand it out, space in every direction. Inhale, staying with the 8 beats. Exhale, expand out. And again, really what we're doing is we're noticing there's space everywhere. It's already there. part of our energetic experience. It's an energy all of its own, this space energy, this space element. These 5 fundamental forces. This probably hasn't been identified as a force yet, but it's there. It's a holding force. Inhale, exhale out to fill the room. Feel the city you're in. Feel the state, the country. See if you can notice the texture of this element compared to the other 4 elements. Inhale, expand out, and by definition, we know there's space everywhere throughout creation, throughout the universe. Would it be okay with us if we honor this deep aspect of ourselves, finding it throughout creation? And knowing that the heart, our heart, each one of us, is the center point of our creation. And in some astounding, unfathomable process, all these hearts exist together at the level of the universal heart. And our creations are simultaneously our own heart's creation and the intersection of our creation with that of the collective. Could we allow ourselves this extraordinary status of being at the center of creation and simultaneously simply being a drop in the ocean? Both are true. Both are true. And can we appreciate the experience of unity on the level of this element? And is it okay with us, as we explore elements even further, if this experience becomes richer and fuller, so that unity dominates in our lives? We always want some individuality, but 60-70% unity, 30% individuality. I forget the exact ratio, but they speak of it in the Brahma Sutras, the ratio between universality and individuality. Could we allow unity to dominate in our lives through the 5 elements, through our energetic body, through our consciousness? We just say yes to that and let it go. And now let's move into this topic of financial predators. Come back. If you just expanded out so far, come back. Feel your heartbeat again. And might have to shift into your mind for a second here. From the perspective of your mind, first, can you notice that shift? It's a subtle shift, but it's quite real. One of my teachers, Lester Levinson, says, enlightenment is just a simple shift of perception. From the head to the heart does that. Just play with that sometimes. In your life, where do you notice that you feel unsafe financially? Where do you feel it? And I'll throw out some possibilities just to stir the pot. We all know there are people out there that try to steal our identities. Identity theft. They can be out there, they can steal our identity, and they can start getting loans in our name. They can buy property in our name. Get credit cards in our name, and suddenly we're getting the bills. And you can work through it, but it takes sometimes years to work through it. It costs an enormous amount of money to clear the record. There are people out there that, you look at Bernie Madoff. They tell you, well, invest with me, and it's just a scam. Go on for a long time. The community I live in, it's sort of a tightly knit community. It's a big spiritual community. 2,000 or 3,000 meditators live here in this town of 10,000 people. And every so often, some new financial promise comes through. Could be a multi-level, and those can be very legitimate. Most people don't make any money. By far, most people don't. We also had, some arbitrage, high finance. Now the little guy can make money like the big guys do. Playing on that. Pulled out hundreds of thousands of dollars out of this community. The guy who was promoting it actually went to jail. The guy above him took all the money and spent it and died. And a friend of mine took the hit. I mean, honestly, he shouldn't have done it, but he took the hit and went to jail for a year or two. These are predators. My friend was unwitting. He thought he really believed it. But the guy above him was just a predator. Didn't care what happened to people. We call them sociopaths. So check to see if you have any fear about this. Fear is a sign of lacking safety, this basic fundamental energy within us. One of the 3 temptations that Jesus overcame. Satan said to him, throw yourself over this cliff. See if the angels will protect you and save you. It was a test of safety. And it really runs our lives. It's a first chakra issue. So whatever you feel when you think about predators, and we should throw banks in here. Banks that give loans that people have no business getting. Hand out credit cards like they're crazy, like they're candy. You run up a lot of debt, give out home equity loans. We move into this place of indebtedness. Notice of all of these, there's a sense of someone doing something to us. So where do you feel like you're a victim in your life? We're talking money today. We'll do sex another day, I think. Where do you feel like you're a victim in your life? Who takes advantage of you financially? Could you welcome up this feeling of being a victim, of having no power? How could I have any power against these banks? They have all the power. They can create the money and I can't. It's all true in a sense. But could you welcome up this feeling of lacking safety, lacking power, and just love this feeling? Be with it. It's just one more feeling. Could you let it go? Could you let it transform? Could you give yourself some safety? Could you give yourself some power? Notice that it's just an energy, and there's a part of us that can give it to us, that we can claim it. The energy exists, and we can claim it. Sometimes just by consciously claiming it, sometimes by borrowing it. You know, if you've ever had a memory of when you were extraordinarily powerful and therefore safe, pull up that memory. You start to feel the surge of power within you. Or maybe you think of some great character in a book or movie who was very courageous. Pull up this quality of courage. And we think the banks have all the power. And yet, what if we decided just to live without the banks? A lot of work, no doubt. And yet people do it. Just feel this, welcome up this sense of fear, of lacking safety. Maybe it's something at work where your boss has some predatory energy and you can't quit because you need your job. Whatever the energy is, welcome it up. And let's look at it at a national level. People pass laws. Banks lobby. Big corporations lobby to pass laws to favor their own interests. It's sort of a natural process. But what happens is it tends to, at times, damage the poorest part of society. And we end up with this fantastic wealth inequality. How do you feel about that wealth inequality? Top, I don't know, 100 people own half the wealth in America. I'm making those numbers up, but it's something like that. And they've been growing richer and richer. Coming out of the last bank crisis, the Lehman Brothers failed. All these other banks are too big to fail, so the government steps in, guarantees their risky, ill-advised investments. Taxpayers have to do it. And we end up with laws that favor capital creation rather than income creation. Are you feeling like a victim here? Does feeling like a victim help in any way? Does feeling unsafe help in any way? Could you just welcome up this lacking safety feeling? Honor it as something that we have created. It's a basic pattern that we have to function in the world. And now we can move on to a new level of functioning, where we function from the deep wisdom of the heart rather than all of our memories, all of our impressions. It's from there that the unsafe feeling comes up. It doesn't come up from the heart. Would it be okay with us if we lived from our hearts rather than living from our storehouse of impressions? Live from this place of absolute safety, absolute love, and absolute power. And we just say yes to that. And could we as a nation, we are obviously feeling unsafe that we build up this huge military. Build up this huge military when, Russia and China are not going to send a fleet over here to attack us. Could be rockets and missiles. I'm not saying not to defend ourselves by any means. I'm an army brat, and I deeply love the military. But would it be okay with us as a nation if we welcomed up this sense of fear that we have and let it transform into absolute safety? The safety that comes from knowing that everyone in this world, every nation, can become our friend as we become a true friend to the world. As we move into our heritage, into our destiny of being a great spiritual light in this world. So could we just step into this individually and collectively, this place of absolute safety, where we see with the eyes of the heart and not ignoring the obvious problems in the world. We know they're there. We deal with them on the level of common sense. What needs to be done, we do. But the backdrop is we sit in a place of love for everyone in the nation and everyone not in the nation. And from this place within our hearts, we are safe. So that's the vision. I invite everyone to pull into your hearts if you've spread out too far. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your feet, the energy of your feet on the ground. We may walk fully clothed in light and love, with our feet firmly on the ground. And just take a moment or two to open up your eyes. And yesterday I told a story by Rumi to soften the coming out of meditation here. And if one of our classmates, alive classmates, brought in a book of poetry by Rumi with his favorite poem called The Guest House. So I thought I'd read that with thanks to you, Dan, for bringing it in. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Wow. Is that a perfect description of what we do here, huh? Wow, how beautiful. So this ends a formal part of our class. If anyone is stirred up and wants to work individually, that's this is the time, or just simply as a gain they want to share or a question. Please hit *6 to unmute yourself. Or I hear someone has unmuted themselves.
Yes, this is Jean.
Oh, Jean. Oh, hey, wait a second. Jean, hang on silently a second. I have to change how the speakers work here. I forgot to do that. Just 1 second. So, Jean, can you speak up here?
Yes, I can.
Oh, perfect. We can all hear you well. Great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Trying to think of any gains. I know I generally write them at nighttime, my gains. So right now off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but I know there are some. So here's my question, if you can help me with releasing on this issue. I've done 3 months of physical therapy with my ankle and my calf muscle, and I'm going through another series of it, and my foot. And I don't know, it must be a correlation because I'm having a difficult time. For some reason, no matter what I do, I cannot finish my book, and I can't put it online. It just doesn't, and I'm just not moving forward in that respect. So
what I'm hearing is problems with your feet, problems stepping forward, and that's translating into not getting your book done.
It's done, but I'm resisting putting it online.
Gotcha. So resisting the marketing of it, and
yes,
getting it out there. Yeah, they do sound related. Yes. They do sound related, don't they?
Oh yes, I definitely realized that, and I thought, shoot, I don't want to go through another 3 months of physical therapy, and it's like I just keep resisting it.
Cool.
And I thought it would be done. The insurance company gave me 3 weeks, of going 3 times a week, so 9 sessions, and now I have to go through another series, and I thought, God, I'm tired of this, and I don't want to spend any more money on therapy again. I spent about $1,000 last time, and I thought, shoot, I don't want to do this again.
Good. So, Jean, you notice you're not liking a lot of things that are going on here, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So is that not liking not liking the physical therapy, not liking the book not getting out, all that sort of thing, is that not liking quality moving you forward or not?
What was the last thing you said?
Is that moving you forward, or does it not move you forward?
No, it's not moving me forward, and I forgot about it. Just now clicking in what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been aware of it, but not to the level that you're making me more aware. Yes. Yes, it's not helping that I'm not liking it.
Good. So could you let go of disapproving of yourself here?
Yes. I have a lot of anger coming up because people would say, you're not ready with it yet, you're not done, you're not done, you're not done. And I guess that's when I'm hearing my head. I don't know.
Yeah. So could you welcome up that thought or that experience of people telling you, you're not done, you're not done, you're not done. And could you let go of disapproving of them for saying that?
Oh, oh no.
Let me ask you differently. When you hold the thought that they shouldn't tell you things like that, they shouldn't speak to you like that, how does that feel?
It's been tough to hear it. I guess I've done a book before and it wasn't a problem, but everybody said, yeah, you need to get out there, you need to get out there. And so they're excited, but their excitement is kind of, it seems like when things are going my way, like things are working well, it's like something puts a monkey wrench in it. Like,
you keep spinning out into stories here, okay?
Okay.
Keep describing. I want you to go back to your feelings.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So all that dissatisfaction you're feeling, all that frustration.
Anger. It's anger. Uh-huh.
Good. So can you welcome up that anger?
Yes.
Yeah. And could you just be with it?
Yes.
Yeah. And be with it some more?
Yes.
And be with it some more?
Yes.
So
it's now sadness.
Yeah, good. So now shift into sadness. Good. So can you feel the sadness?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just another feeling, isn't it? Deeper level.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So everyone here or on the phone, find out where you're sad in your own life. Could you just be with that sadness, Jean?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I've just not wanted to honor that sadness.
Yeah. And it's not so bad to be with your sadness, is it?
No.
It's not so bad. All these feelings aren't so bad once we let go of the judgment of them. They just become guests in our house, like the poem said. Right? And who knows, we welcome them, we honor them, because really what happens is, as we love them, they fade away, and some new gift comes in. Right?
I wanted to control them. I didn't want people to see my sadness or know I was sad.
Yes. If you resist,
even though I have.
If you resist them, you hold them in your house, and the new guests can't come in. You get that? So could you just welcome some more of the sadness?
Okay.
Yes. And on a scale of 10 down to 1, or 0, with 0 being no sadness, where are you right now?
On some level, I feel like saying 9. 9 being being 10 being the worst.
Yeah, good. So you're at 9. Good. You have a lot of sadness here. Nice. Can you have a little bit of gratitude that you're finding this really deep feeling that's so strong?
Yes. Yes. I do. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. And could you give yourself some love and approval for being courageous enough to experience this feeling?
Yes.
Yes. So when you give yourself love and approval, what happens to the sadness? Does it get more intense or does it get less intense?
Less tense.
Less intense, doesn't it? So could you
Yes.
could you give yourself some more love and approval?
Yes.
Yeah. And give yourself some more love and approval.
Yes.
Yes. And could you give that sadness some love and approval?
Yes.
Yes. It's your energy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Your energy, and for whatever reason, you created it here to experience it now. Okay?
Yes.
All right? Or you invited it in if it's not your energy. Either way, you're open to
No,
it.
it's been mine. I've had a lot of grief in my life, so,
Yeah.
and I just didn't go through the process like I should have.
Yeah, it's okay. So could you let go of disapproving of yourself for not having gone through that process?
Yes.
Yeah. You did what you could do at the time, didn't you?
Yeah, I felt like I had to keep on moving to get things done.
Yeah. So you did what you had to do.
So many different times.
Got it. Got it. So could you just be at peace?
Yeah, I didn't have it. I didn't have the opportunity to be sad.
Yeah. Could you just be at peace with what you've done in the past? How you've handled it?
Yes.
Yes, you can, can't you? Could you welcome up the sadness some more
Yes.
and more?
Yes.
And on the scale of 10 down to 0, with 0 being no sadness, where are you right now?
6.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
I'm at 6.
You're at 6?
I'm at 6.
Yes, good.
6.
Good, perfect. So it's going down just like it should. Okay? So would it be okay with you if you just felt the sadness some more?
Yes.
Yes.
Wanting a feeling of wanting to be safe.
Good. Good. So can you welcome up that?
And more sadness coming up.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of stuff coming up. You have a lot of guests coming into your house here today. Right?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. And we want to welcome them all. Welcome them all.
Yes.
Yes. And just be with them. Be with the unsafe feeling, the lacking safety feeling. Be with the sadness. Now, would it be okay with you if you expanded into your beingness here, Jean?
Sure.
Yeah. Or you call it expanding your heart, whatever terminology works for you here. And just allow yourself to sink more deeply into your true nature. Okay?
Yes.
Let that
Yes.
get bigger and bigger. Does that expand out easily for you?
Yeah, I just feel all of a sudden very apologetic. I don't know what for, but just felt apologetic.
Good. One more guest coming in. Right?
Mhm.
Good. So keep expanding out. And from this expanded place, how big do all these guests look from this expanded place?
I'm sorry?
How big do these guests, these feelings look from this expanded?
Oh, about 9 to 10 feet tall.
Good. And how big are you?
4 feet?
Uh-huh. Good. So the job is for you to expand even more.
Okay. Yeah.
Could you expand?
I'm at 6. I'm at 6 feet.
Good. Could you go up to 8 feet?
I can go to 7.
Okay. So
I guess I can go to 8. I can go to 8.
go to 8. Just keep on expanding out. Could you go up to 10?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. You could actually go up to 20 if you wanted to, couldn't you?
Yeah, I've expanded outwardly too to fill the whole room.
Good. So now you look at these and you're bigger than they are, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you're bigger. Could you look at them like you're the parent and they're the child?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. And even if a kid has a tantrum, we love them anyway, right?
Yes.
Yes. So could you love these feelings
Yes.
in this expanded place? They're a part of you. They're a voice within you. And they need to be heard, don't they?
Yes. It's funny. I feel as if I haven't had a voice.
Yes.
People didn't want to hear me,
Yes.
and I guess I've realized that that's what's upset me the most,
Right.
not being heard,
Not
or no one asked me about it.
Yes. So good.
Like, you know how I feel?
Good. Perfect. Is it okay with
Yeah, it's
if you
bringing
move?
up some anger.
Is it okay with you if you move into having a voice?
Yes.
That's okay, isn't it? Good.
Yes.
Good. Now you make that
I
decision.
feel like I'm reacting to saying things inappropriately,
Yeah.
coming out at the wrong time. And it's
Good.
like, oh, that's not what I usually like.
So it's okay. Just make the decision and you just let it go. It's okay for you to have a voice, right?
Yes.
Yes. Could you make the
Yes.
decision? It's okay for you to have a voice.
Yes.
And go back to these feelings, and can you just look at them again from your expanded place and realize...
I'm at a 2, and I feel like those feelings are silly.
Good. Good. And could you love them even if they're silly?
Yes.
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 Yes. And they're, you call them silly, but they're really a voice within you that wants to be heard. And we don't want to shut them down for being silly or stupid or anything like that. We just want to let them heal, be heard, and move into a loving, powerful place in our hearts. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, how big are these feelings now? Are they still 10 feet?
I feel as if I need to honor them.
Yes.
Even if I think they're silly,
Yeah.
I need to honor them. I feel as if I need to really honor them.
Good. So could
And
you,
not to,
and you do that by loving them. You honor them by
yes,
hearing them, right?
yes,
And is it okay if they stay there for a while? And you honor them for as long as they need to be there?
yes,
It is okay, isn't it? See, this is what happens when we expand the heart. Is the heart can hold all these feelings, good and bad, and still be in peace.
yes.
Okay? So let's go to your
Okay.
voice. Let's go to your voice now. So,
Okay.
because not putting your book out there sounds like it's directly related to not having a voice.
Yes.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
But you've already started the process of claiming your voice. So what's the worst thing that could happen if you claim your voice and you put your book out there?
I might be wildly successful, and I wouldn't know what to do with it because it'd be so overwhelming.
I love that. That's the worst that could happen here, isn't it?
Yes.
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 Yes. So could you allow yourself to be wildly successful and still be peaceful?
Yes.
Yes, you could, couldn't you? Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Could you be wildly successful and still be peaceful? And even if you don't know what to say, it's okay?
Oh my God, you hit on a nerve. Yes. Yes.
It's okay, isn't it? So you write a fabulous book, you're wildly successful, and you're not the one who's going to go out and promote your book and talk about it. But the book's just going to sell itself. Is that okay?
Oh, it's absolutely perfect.
And would it be okay if later on you decide to change your mind and you realize you do have a voice, and then you could speak out about it?
Yes. Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, is it okay with you if you put your book out there?
Yes. Mm-mm. Yes,
Uh-huh.
because people need it.
Is there some resistance?
Except they don't know they need it.
Is there some resistance to that, or is that an unqualified yes?
I'm hesitating. I don't know the answer.
Okay, so that's some resistance there. So
Yeah.
imagine putting your book out there, and what happens? What comes up for you?
People can't get enough. Can't get enough.
They can't get enough.
No, they want more.
So there you are. They want more from you. You have to write another book or something like that, or they want you to speak or whatever. So can you feel any resistance to that, or does that feel okay, or does that feel like a problem to you?
I feel as if it's wanting control and some resistance and something about my voice.
Good. So could you welcome up that resistance and just let it go?
Yes.
And just let it go some more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Is it okay with you if you love your voice?
Yes.
If you give your voice some love and approval?
Yes.
Yes. Is it okay with you if you put your book out there and stuff comes up, you release it, and you go forward with it anyway?
I only heard the first part. I didn't hear the last part of it.
Is it okay?
If I put my book out there, what?
If you put your book out there and stuff comes up, then you release it, you heal it, you feel it, you let it go, and then you move on forward. Would that be okay with you?
Yes.
Yes. Could you look at this, putting your book out there, as a spiritual practice?
I would love that. Absolutely love that.
Yes. So you put it out there and stuff comes up and you heal it.
Yes.
That's a nice picture, isn't it?
It's a wonderful picture. I just want it from a spiritual point of view, that people get the spirituality out of it.
Good. So that picture's okay with you?
Yes, it would be okay with me.
Okay. Any other reason why you can't put your book out there?
No reason whatsoever.
We can all hear that in your voice, by the way. That's a big shift.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Great.
Well, thank you.
And I feel more at peace about it, too. I just feel much more at peace.
All right, Jean, I think we're done. I think you're on your way.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
so much.
you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. All right. That takes us to about 10:15. I'm going to unmute everyone.
Stephen?
And thank you all for joining us. We'll call this morning, and I'll figure out the topic for next Monday. You guys always email me with topics, okay? A few people do it, and I've really, really enjoyed it. It's been really great. And many blessings to all of you.
Thank you, Stephen.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to Monday.